Plastic is posing a serious health risk to humans. The most dangerous aspect of it is the microscopic particles that quickly enter the food chain, float in the air, and mix in drinking water. As a result, whatever we are eating or drinking is causing harm. The plastic particles in the air easily enter the human body through respiration. They have been found in the lungs, blood, breast milk, and even in fetuses. This increases the risk of various diseases such as neurological disorders, brain strokes, cancer, heart disease, etc. Aquatic animals are also constantly falling victim to plastic waste. Due to plastic pollution, approximately 100 million aquatic animals die every year. That means around 273,972 aquatic animals die every day from plastic pollution. These include marine mammals, sea turtles, fish, sharks, and seabirds. The two primary deadly causes of plastic pollution for aquatic creatures are 1. Ingesting plastic as food. Many animals mistakenly consume plastic thinking it is food, which disrupts their digestive systems and leads to death. 2. Entanglement in plastic. Many creatures get caught in plastic nets or other waste, which hinders their movement or ability to breathe. Furthermore, the marine fish and food we consume indirectly introduce plastic particles into our bodies, causing serious harm. Packaged food is also a significant contributor to this issue. Plastic bags and carry packets lying by roadsides or drains accumulate rainwater, turning into silent, deadly traps. This stagnant water becomes ideal breeding grounds for mosquitoes that carry diseases like dengue, malaria, chikungunya, and more. Additionally, bacteria and fungi that grow in these waters can cause skin diseases, eye infections, and intestinal illnesses in children. Often, this plastic obstructs drains, leading to waterlogging, which in turn spreads more pollution in the environment. Moreover, this stagnant water rots and produces foul smells, toxic gases, and even leads to the death of animals and birds. When plastic carry bags, packets, or polythene are discarded on the ground, they do not decompose easily and remain buried for years. Over time, under sunlight and heat, they break down into microplastics which deteriorate the soil quality. This reduces the soil's natural water retention capacity, restricts air circulation, and decreases the population of beneficial bacteria and insects. Consequently, the fertility of agricultural land declines, crop yields drop, and toxic substances begin to accumulate in the soil. Sometimes, toxic chemicals released from plastic during rainfall seep deep into the ground and contaminate underground water. This not only harms agriculture but also poisons the food chain, ultimately reaching the human body and causing various long-term diseases. When plastic packets and polythene are spread across beaches and tourist spots, they ruin the beauty of the environment and reduce tourist interest. This results in a downturn for tourism-related businesses such as hotels, shops, and transport. Employment opportunities decrease, negatively impacting the local economy. On one hand, nature is polluted, and on the other, people's livelihoods face a crisis. Waste collectors collect plastic and garbage every day. They carry out their work without gloves, masks, or any form of protection. As a result, they are exposed to risks of skin diseases, respiratory problems, and various infections. Despite playing a crucial role in maintaining environmental cleanliness, society often looks down upon them. When plastic is burned, it releases highly toxic gases like dioxins, furans, carbon monoxide, and hydrogen chloride into the air. These not only pollute the atmosphere but also contribute to global warming. Particularly, the burning of PVC-type plastics releases hydrogen chloride gas, which mixes with atmospheric moisture to form hydrochloric acid, negatively impacting the environment. These gases directly attack human lungs, increasing breathing difficulties and raising the risk of chronic diseases like asthma. The impact is especially severe for children, the elderly, and those with weak health. Plants, animals, and soil are also long-term victims of this damage. According to research by scientists from the University of Leeds in the UK, an average of 57 million tons of plastic waste is generated daily and spreads across oceans, rivers, and open areas like drains. India alone produces 12 million tons of plastic waste annually. A significant portion of this, around 66%, comes from developing and underdeveloped countries. Just a few years ago, the global annual plastic waste production was 44 million tons, but now it has skyrocketed to 1.2 billion tons. About half of this is single-use plastic. A report based on surveys in 50,000 cities found that only 10% of collected urban waste is recycled, while 38% is incinerated. In rural areas, plastic waste is often not collected properly. It's either burned as fuel or left exposed. This uncollected waste pollutes the soil, water, and air, severely damaging the overall environment. India now ranks first in the world in plastic waste generation, overtaking China, which had previously held that position. However, since 2022, China has implemented various positive measures and has dropped to the fourth position. Nigeria and Indonesia currently hold the second and third positions respectively. Countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, Russia, and Brazil are also significantly contributing to plastic pollution. India had announced in the same year that it would eliminate single-use plastic by 2022. The production, sale, purchase, and use of 19 types of single-use plastic items were banned. These included plastic bottles, cups, spoons, straws, pouches, ice cream sticks, knives, banners, posters, festoons, and thermocol plates and bowls. However, all these continue to be used just as before. Before plastic became widespread, what did people use instead? The most common and widely used eco-friendly alternatives were jute and cloth bags. Nowadays, when buying essentials from local grocery stores like rice, lentils, flour, or puffed rice, they are often handed over in plastic packets. Even though there's no shortage of newspapers, paper cones are rarely seen. Those who once made a living from such paper packaging have likely been forced to choose other professions. In terms of food service, banana leaves and sal leaves were once widely used. In many rural areas, bamboo baskets and trays are still used. So what should we do now? Thanks to textbooks, social media, and newspapers, we are all somewhat aware of the harms of plastic. But it's crucial not only to know, but to inform others. Strict monitoring by the authorities is essential. Alternatives such as cloth, paper, jute, coir, sal leaves, banana fiber, sugarcane bagasse, and water hyacinth-based products must be promoted. Plastic should not be used unless absolutely necessary, and where alternatives exist, they must be used. These principles, however, often remain confined to the pages of books, appealing in writing but rarely implemented. Everything seems locked in ink and paper, framed pictures, or decorative language. The administration, for the most part, remains indifferent, only occasionally acting under pressure from above. Sometimes areas are declared plastic-free zones, or enforcement is briefly tightened. In one such area, a banner read, "Plastic-free zone," yet right beneath it lay several pieces of plastic waste. That wasn't an exception. Plastic was littered all around, as if shamelessly mocking the declaration. It was merely a symbolic gesture to save face, good only for photographs. How many of us, when buying fish or meat, carry our own tiffin boxes or containers? Most people simply don't bother. Even among those who consider themselves aware, very few consistently practice what they preach. The same ministers and officials who pass laws often receive food in plastic containers, with plastic cutlery at meetings and rallies. Political banners and advertisements are scattered everywhere, first causing visual pollution, then environmental pollution. The millions spent on them could have been far better used in food, healthcare, or education. Green Army Movement, The Toxic Tree Must Be Uprooted, Part 4. Imagine giving a kingfisher or a cat the task of dividing fish. They won't divide, they'll simply eat it all. Now consider if liquor shops are opened widely with the message, "Drink in moderation," or cigarette packets carry horrifying lung images. Do such warnings really reduce addiction significantly? Everyone knows tobacco causes cancer, but usage persists. These contradictions reveal the futility of promoting awareness while enabling the very behavior meant to be curbed. It's like saying, let's increase the production of plastic carry bags, but ask people to use them less. This is a contradiction in itself. We all know that theft is a sin in every religion and punishable by law, yet it still occurs. Likewise, as long as plastic carry bags are produced, pollution will continue. So what's the solution? This situation is like that of a person addicted to drugs. Suddenly taking away the substance triggers withdrawal symptoms, leading to distress. Our society is similarly addicted to plastic. A sudden ban would cause discomfort and pushback. Therefore, we need a phased shift, like how a drug addict is gradually weaned off substance abuse through tapering doses and therapy. If someone used 10 plastic bags a week, they should reduce to 8 the next week, then 6 and so on, while simultaneously increasing the use of cloth or jute bags. Just as personal habits change step by step, collective habits must shift gradually too. Products like fans, fridges or ACs often come with thermocol or thick plastic padding for transport protection. Why not replace those with eco-friendly materials like straw or recycled paper pulp? This shift, however, won't be smooth. There are economic and social hurdles. A harsh reality. Millions depend directly or indirectly on the plastic industry. If the industry is abruptly shut down, massive job losses would follow. Hence, we need sustainable alternatives. This brings us to Bengal's heritage, the golden fiber jute. Currently, jute farmers earn very little. The labor barely pays off. Sharecroppers face even worse conditions. Many jute mills have shut down due to low demand and low prices. Yet jute bags, cloth carriers, and tiffin boxes could be the most acceptable, eco-friendly alternatives of today. If the government revives old jute mills, demand for jute will rise, leading to better prices. A minimum support price, or MSP, should be declared for jute. Subsidies and tax reductions on jute products would make them affordable. At the same time, those who lost jobs in the plastic industry should be retrained and encouraged to join the jute sector. This will be a win on multiple fronts. First, the plastic industry fades out. Second, those who lost jobs get employment. Third, farmers and mill workers earn better. And finally, the environment breathes easier. Livelihoods will not be lost. If we plan properly, jute farmers will receive fair prices, closed jute mills can be revived, employment opportunities will increase, and most importantly, our environment will be saved from the monstrous threat of plastic pollution. One practical solution could be to impose a sin tax on polythene bags, raising their prices so high that people naturally turn to jute or cloth bags instead. For example, if a plastic carry bag costs 10 rupees, a jute bag should cost 5 rupees, making the eco-friendly option both affordable and accessible. People rarely change habits just through awareness. They change out of necessity and convenience. So it's essential to ensure that alternatives are both available and practical. History bears witness to many visible destructions. World Wars I and II, atomic bombings, India's freedom struggle. Millions lost their lives, and these events are well documented in history. But the death caused by plastic pollution is silent, yet far more dangerous. It doesn't make headlines, but it slowly steals away the future of generations to come. This modern poisonous tree of plastic has already crept into our soil, water, air, human bodies, and even embryos. It threatens not just the environment, but the entire ecosystem. Melting glaciers, rising sea levels, increasing cyclones, droughts, and floods. These natural disasters are escalating. Though laws, campaigns, and awareness drives may bring short-term relief, they do little unless we address the root of the problem. Just like people continue to lose money to hackers or get scammed by fraudulent investment schemes, despite widespread awareness, plastic usage won't disappear through awareness alone. That's why, in the end, our goal must be to completely stop the production of plastic carry bags. It is difficult, but not impossible. If India can gain freedom from British rule, if politicians move away from using religion as a political tool, vote bank tactics, and the trap of false promises, and instead walk the path of genuine change, and if we citizens also stand by them with awareness and commitment, then and only then can we truly succeed in the fight against single-use plastic. To gift future generations a livable, beautiful planet, it's not enough to simply ban the fruits of the poisonous tree of plastic carry bags or to trim its branches. We must uproot it completely. Otherwise, the branches may grow back and the poison will once again spread throughout our surroundings. The production of single-use plastic must be stopped entirely. Only then can we leave behind for the next generation a new dawn where a white bird flies through the sky carrying a tender green leaf in its beak, building a small yet beautiful and peaceful nest, a symbol of hope and renewal.